Welcome back to day 3 of the 4 agreements read by me, Tracy Lene, and my new glasses. Boozilla, baby. Anywho, I'm really excited to read again. This is my channel called Breathing Underwater because life can throw waves on you. You got to learn how to breathe underwater. And that's what I intend to help you learn to do through books, through different inspirational things that I come across, I share. Anywho, so I wanted to start this. It's the Practical Guide to Personal Freedom, a Toltec wisdom book, the 4 agreements. And I am 56, in June. And menopause is really interesting. That's where this little spare tire is coming from. But I'm working on it and I'm getting it down. But the main character energy shirt made by me, and I can make you one too, because I am main character energy and you probably are too. Anyway, let's get started. Don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. In your whole body, in your whole life, nobody has ever abused you more than you have abused yourself. And the limits of your self-abuse is exactly the limit that you will tolerate from someone else. If someone abuses you a little more than you abuse yourself, you will probably walk away from that person. But if someone abuses you a little less than you abuse yourself, you will probably stay in the relationship and tolerate it endlessly. If you abuse yourself very badly, you can even tolerate someone who beats you up, humiliates you, and treats you like dirt. Why? Because in your belief system, you say, I deserve it. This person is doing me a favor by being with me. I'm not worthy of love and respect. I'm not good enough. We have the need to be accepted and to be loved by others, but we cannot accept and love ourselves. The more self-love we have, the less we will experience self-abuse. Self-abuse comes from self-rejection, and self-rejection comes from having an image of what it means to be perfect and never measuring up to that ideal. Our image of perfectionism is the reason we reject ourselves. It is why we don't accept ourselves the way we are, and why we don't accept others the way they are. Prelude to a new dream. There are thousands of agreements you have made with yourself, other people, with your dream of life, with God, with society, with your parents, with your spouse, with your children. But the most important agreements are the ones you made with yourself. And these agreements, you tell yourself who you are, what you feel, what you believe, and how to behave. The result is what you call your personality. And in these agreements you say, this is what I am. This is what I believe. I can do certain things and some things I cannot do. This is reality. That is fantasy. This is possible. That is impossible. One single agreement is not such a problem, but we have many agreements that make us suffer, that make us fail in life. If you want to live a life of joy and fulfillment, you have to find the courage to break those agreements that are fear-based and claim your personal power. And you're going to need help. There's so many tools around to help you. Therapy with another person, tapping, meditation, yoga, exercise, so many ways for you to find the way out of that illusion that you're not good enough, because you simply are good enough. You are amazing. You really are. The agreements that come from fear require us to expend a lot of energy, but the agreements that come from love help us to conserve energy and even gain extra energy. Each of us is born with a certain amount of personal power that we rebuild every day after we rest. Unfortunately, we spend all our personal power first to create all these agreements and then to keep those agreements. Our personal power is dissipated by all the agreements we have created, and the result is that we feel powerless. We have just enough power to survive each day because most of it is used to keep the agreements that trap us in the dream of the planet. How can we change the entire dream of our life when we have no power to change even our smallest agreement? If we can see it is our agreements that rule our own life, and we don't like the dream of our life, we need to change the agreements. When we are finally ready to change our agreements, there are 4 very powerful agreements that will help us to break those agreements that come from fear and deplete our energy. Each time you break an agreement, all the power you used to create it returns to you. You're your own Superman. You're your own Wonder Woman. If you adopt these 4 new agreements, then they will create enough personal power for you to change the entire system of your old agreements. I bear witness. You need a very strong will in order to adopt the 4 agreements. But if you can begin to live your life with these agreements, the transformation in your life will be amazing. You will see the drama of hell disappear right before your very eyes. Instead of living in a dream of hell, You will be creating a new dream, your personal dream of heaven. And this is where it gets really juicy. Chapter 2, the first agreement. Be impeccable with your word. Let's say it again. Be impeccable with your word. Whew. The first agreement is the most important one and also the most difficult one to honor, especially if you're a people pleaser. It is so important that with just this first agreement, you will be able to transcend to the level of existence I call heaven on earth. Y'all, I am really moving into heaven on earth. I have moved people out of my life that meant me no good. I have moved food out of my life that means me no good. I've removed thoughts, and I know that I am on the precipice of the greatness that is Tracy Lene. I know it, and I don't think it, I know it. Mother Mary promised me in the reading last week that I did a miracle, to expect a miracle, and I know that miracle is coming before tomorrow because she said it, and God does not lie. And Mother Mary is the mother of Jesus, and Jesus' daddy is God, just like your daddy is God, and your mama too. The first agreement is to be impeccable with your word. It sounds very simple, but it is very, very powerful. Why your word? Your word is the power that you have to create. Your word is the gift that comes directly from God. The Gospel of John in the Bible, speaking of the creation of the universe, says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word is God." Get that? That's deep. Let's say that again. In the beginning was the Word. So that means the Word came before God, because it says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word is God." So if the Word is God, what you say out your mouth is going to come to pass. Through the word, you express your creative power. It is through the word that you manifest everything. Regardless of what language you speak, your intent manifests through the word. What you dream, what you feel, and what you really are will all be manifested through the word. The word is not just a sound or written symbol. The word is force. It is the power you have to express and communicate, to think, and thereby to create the events in your life. You can speak. What other animal on the planet can speak? The word is the most powerful tool you have as a human. It is the tool of magic. But like a sword with two edges, your word can create the most beautiful dream, or your word can destroy everything around you. One edge is the misuse of the word, which creates a living hell. The other edge is the impeccability of the word, which will only create beauty, love, and heaven on earth. Depending upon how it is used, the word can set you free, or it can enslave you even more than you know. All the magic you possess is based on your word. Let me say that again. All the magic you possess is based on your word. Wow. Your word is pure magic, and the misuse of your word is black magic. I don't like that saying black magic, like black is bad. No, that's something they made up. Evil magic. How about that? And it's not black. The word is so powerful that one word can change a life or destroy the lives of millions of people. Some years ago, one man in Germany, by the use of the word, manipulated a whole country of the most intelligent people. He led them into a world war with just the power of his word. He convinced others to commit the most atrocious acts of violence. He activated people's fear with the word, and like a big explosion, there was a killing and a war all around the world. All over the world, humans destroyed other humans because they were afraid of each other. Hitler's words, based on fear-generated beliefs and agreements, will be remembered for centuries. The thing that gets me is we don't talk about the transatlantic slave trade, which is worse than the Holocaust because it lasted for 400 years and it has left a people depleted, broken, and bruised, completely my people. And we don't talk about it. And when we do, we say, oh, that's the past. Don't talk about the past, but we talk about the Holocaust. I'm not taking away from the Holocaust, but damn it, let's talk about the transatlantic slave trade and how the mental breaking of the mind of the black man and woman is why we are all over the place. We have a sexy red because of the transatlantic slave trade. We have drugs in our community. We have all of these bad things because of that. But we don't talk about that. We don't talk about it. Don't talk about it in books. Don't talk about. Maybe I should write the book. I mean, they have books about it, but spiritual books. They don't really speak to how we got to these shores and how we were not Christians when we came here. That was not our religion. Not bashing you if you're a Christian now, because you can crystallize yourself into oneness with Christ the right way, but not the way that slave master gave it to you, because a slave master is never going to give you a good God, because then you're not going to be a slave. So he's going to give you the parts of God that makes them evil, just so you know. Those slave masters were evil, because only an evil person would take the name of Jesus and use it against you. Whip your ass in the name of Jesus. Rape your babies in the name of Jesus. And you can turn me off now if you want to. I don't care. My trajectory is made for me. I'm going to go far, whether you watch me or not, because that's who I am. But I'm not going to use my word to hide behind the fact that slavery happened and it was bad. And yeah, you say, well, Africans sold them into slavery. Well, lots of countries were giving away people for the use to help make other countries, but they had no idea of the atrocities that would happen to us on these shores, period, that we are still genetically bringing forth, because the genetic pain is in each of us. It just is. All right, so he uses Hitler as an example. I'm reading the book, so I'm going to keep reading. Take the example of Hitler. Let me go back up because I wasn't there yet. The human mind is like a fertile ground where seeds are continually being planted. The seeds are opinions, ideas, and concepts. You plant a seed, a thought, and it grows. The word is like a seed, and the human mind is so fertile. The only problem is, too often it is fertile for the seeds of fear. Every human mind is fertile, but only for those kinds of seeds it is prepared for. What is important to see is which kind of seeds our mind is fertile for, and to prepare it to receive the seeds of love. Take the example of Hitler. He sent out all those seeds of fear, and they grew very strong and beautifully achieved massive destruction. Seeing the awesome power of the word, we must understand what power comes out of our mouths. One fear or doubt planted in our mind can create an endless drama of events. One word is like a spell, and all humans use the words like like magicians that are evil. I'm not going to use that black, because black is not bad. Though that's another thing. Even though this is an amazing book, he still fell into the part of using the word to hurt people. When you hear black magic and you're black and they say black magic is evil, you inherently think I'm evil. It's just a part of it. Magic is not evil. People who use it can be evil. So it can be white magic, tan magic, brown magic, yellow magic, and still be evil. We're not using the word black magic. Not on my watch, okay? Because I'm a black woman, and I ain't evil. And I'm magic. Black magic, baby. Black magic. Black girl magic. Whew. Every human is a magician, and we can either put a spell on someone with our words, or we can release someone from a spell. This book is going to be interesting because there's some things I don't agree with. I can't release you from nothing. Only you can. You can release yourself. Now, I can affect you if your spirit isn't guarded up. I can send things to you and you'll receive it because you're not protected. But you got to release yourself, baby. You got to release yourself. We cast spells all the time with our opinion. An example, I see a friend and give him an opinion that just popped in my mind. I said, I see that kind of color in your face in people who are going to get cancer. If he listens to the word, if he agrees, he will have cancer in less than 1 year. That is the power of the word. I knew from a very early age, my grandmama told me, oh, you ain't gonna never get cancer because it don't run in our family. And guess what? I ain't gonna never get cancer because it don't run in our family. And what's interesting is I had one aunt who had cancer, but she smoked cigarettes and drank Pepsis all the time. And so she developed a cancer, and she wasn't very kind. She wasn't. She was not, period. Anywho, doesn't mean I don't love her. She's my aunt. And at the end of her life, she became kind. She did. She became kind, and we could sit and talk. We both like to read books. And I was at Howard, and I would send her books after I finished reading them. And one day, I came home and sat with her, and she says, I never thought you would be like this. You were so spoiled. Your mother just let you have everything. And I know the problem was she was jealous of me, that my mother was the type of mother to give me and my sister whatever we asked for. And she didn't like that because she couldn't give that to her children because of her financial ability. And instead of being happy for us, she thought we were brats. During our domestication, our parents and siblings gave their opinions about us without even thinking. We believed these opinions, and we lived in fear over these opinions, like not being good at swimming or sports or writing. Someone gives an opinion and says, look, this girl is ugly. I deal with this all the time in middle school. Somebody comes in my classroom crying, Miss Bagwell, she said I was ugly. I'm like, who is she? Her. And I said again, who is she? That girl right there. Who is she? Huh? Her. Who is she? I don't know what you mean. Who is she? Why does her calling you ugly mean anything? Do you think you're ugly? No. I said, yes, you do, or she wouldn't be crying. Because if she said to you, and I'll use the opposite of something they are. If she said to you, you got on a green shirt and you know your shirt is red, you're going, no, I don't. And you would dismiss it because you know your shirt is not green. But she called you ugly and you're already feeling that you're ugly. And now somebody is saying it, you feel validated, you're crying. You're not ugly. It doesn't matter what she thinks. It matters what you think. So that one, yeah. This girl listens, believes she's ugly, and grows up with the idea that she is ugly. It doesn't matter how beautiful she is. As long as she has that agreement, she will believe that she is ugly. That is the spell she was under. That's the spell I was under. I was the cutest little girl. I hit puberty, and puberty hit me in the face with a bat. I mean, I hit puberty. I was a little chubber, and my hair fell out because we had a swimming pool in the backyard, and I was swimming all the time and not taking care of my hair. My mother had permed my hair too young because she couldn't deal with it. And then I'm swimming every day, and a chunk was going right here. So since that chunk was going, she had to cut all of it off. And this was in the late 70s. Nobody was walking around with no natural fro, but I was. And boy, oh boy, they picked on me. They touched me. So I was ugly, so I looked African, all kind of stuff. And I was so hurt. And I remember feeling so ugly in middle school. Middle school was horrible for me. But I had a mouth. I could cut you down with my mouth. But I wasn't a fighter. I could fight if I needed to, but I didn't like to hit. But if I needed to, I could throw them hands. Anywho, I remember this boy said that I was really, really ugly. And this was a boy who used to call me all the time because his father used to beat his mom. And he would call me, and I grew up fairly wealthy. My parents both worked, and we had a really comfortable life, a swimming pool in the backyard. My sister and I both had our own phone lines back in, and this was in the late 70s, early 80s. We had our own phone line in our rooms, and we lived pretty good. And so he would call me, and I would pray with him and talk to him about it. He would call me from the closet when his dad was beating his mom, and I would pray with him. And then the next day at school, now I'm not going to say his name, but I remember his name. Anyway, we would pray on the phone, and then the next day, I thought he was my boyfriend. Next day we were in school, I told this girl, I was like, I got a boyfriend. She's like, who? And I said the boy's name. And she went and asked him. He said, I don't go with that ugly girl. She ugly and fat and black. I was so hurt. I had a choice. And because I got a mouth, I chose my mouth. And I said, well, make sure I'm ugly and fat and black. The next time your daddy whooping your mama ass, don't call me. And everybody was like, oh. He went home. He told his mom. His mom called my mom. I don't even know how she got my mama's number, to be honest with you. But anyway, she called my mom. And my mother, she didn't ride or die for her girls. My mother was like, well, next time, make sure he don't call when your husband is whooping your ass. You need to deal with that situation. But your son shouldn't have called. My mother told her off. I was like, yay, Mom. Because my mother was really hard on me, too. I thought she might use it as an opportunity to say, I told you to stop eating 3 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You ain't even that hungry. But she didn't use it like that. She had my back. She had my back. She had my front. Anywho, but that situation hurt my feelings. And I never talked to him again. And then I saw him when I was in college, because life always lives. I saw him when I was in college when the girl was looking real good. And he was working at the grocery store as a bagger. I came home, and I was not the mature person I am now. I used it as an opportunity to dig as far as I fucking could in his ass when he said, oh my God, you look so good. He said, we need to catch up. I said, we catching up right now. He said, I want to take you out. I said, on a bagger salary? No, thank you. I was real. Yeah, nah. So anyhow, I'm over it now. But that was it. Let me get back to this book. I'm supposed to be reading y'all. I'm just having a little session because this book is triggering me. It's triggering me with the words like black magic, which makes me frustrated. Go back up. Okay. By hooking our attention, that the word can enter our mind and change our whole belief for better or worse. But remember, I told you this is not audible. This is me reading and talking, so it may not be your cup of tea. I'm okay with that. A lot of people's cup of tea. Gotta be, because I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. Another example. You may believe you are stupid. You may have believed this for as long as you can remember. This agreement can be very tricky, causing you to do a lot of things just to ensure that you are stupid. You may do something and think to yourself, I wish I were smart, but I must be stupid or I wouldn't have done that. The mind goes in hundreds of different directions, and we could spend days getting hooked by just that one belief in our own stupidity. Then one day someone hooks your attention and using the word lets you know that you are not stupid. You believe what the person says and makes a new agreement. As a result, you no longer feel or act stupid. A whole spell is broken just by the power of the word. Conversely, if you believe you are stupid and someone hooks your attention and says, yes, you are really the most stupid person I've ever met, the agreement will be reinforced and become even stronger. The reason why I'm teaching middle school is for this very reason. I break agreements every day. I help them to break them. I'm not breaking them myself, but I help them to break those agreements every day. When a girl comes to me and tells me somebody said something about her, I go, who are they? And they always go, Miss Beck won't say, who are they? Like, that's the first thing I'm going to tell you. Who are they? They don't get to matter. And I'm not diminishing them because they're just broken too. Y'all just a bunch of babies, a bunch of smelly feral cats. But I do tell them that too. I'm like, y'all need to take showers because y'all stink. And it's not fair that I got to sit in here with 25 stinky little children and my nose is offended. So take baths. I took a bath. Last week doesn't count. Take one when you get home from school and take one when you get up in the morning and put some deodorant on. And it's okay to use natural deodorant and bring it to school with you and some little white pads and do it. I have them in my room because they be stinky. And I very discreetly go wash your arms. This ain't right. This ain't cute. And especially if a girl is super, she got her edges laid and her hair done and her arms stinking. I'm like, come here. Your hair is done and your edges are laid and them arms are stinking. That don't match. Get your butt in the bathroom and clean yourself up. And they love it. They're like, Miss Backless. Because you develop a relationship first. And then you talk to them that way and they're okay with it. Because you're not going to sit up there stinking in my class. Oh, I was stinky in middle school. Oh, my mother used to say, get away from me. You smell like a polecat. My mother wouldn't even let me hug her when I came home from school. She's like, you smell like a polecat. You won't get it on me. Now, that's another thing I had to work through. But the reality of it is I should have taken 4 showers, not 1 or 2. Now, let us see what the word impeccability means. Impeccability means without sin. Impeccable comes from the Latin peccatus, which means sin. The M in impeccable means without. So impeccable means without sin. Now remember we talked about we agree what words mean. So they agreed back in the Latin time that peccatus meant sin. So you say, peccatus, you are a peccatuser, I guess. You are a peccatuser. And then the M in front of it means without. So the word M would be without. And then impeccable, so they without sin. Religion talks about sin and sinners, but let's understand what it really means to sin. A sin is anything that you do which goes against yourself. Everything you feel or believe or say that goes against yourself is a sin. You go against yourself when you judge or blame yourself for anything. Being without sin is exactly the opposite. Being impeccable is not going against yourself. When you are impeccable, you take responsibility for your actions, but you do not judge or blame yourself. From this point of view, the whole concept of sin changes from something moral or religious to something common sense. Sin begins with rejection of yourself. Self-rejection is the biggest sin that you commit. In religious terms, self-rejection is a mortal sin, which leads to death. Impeccability, on the other hand, leads to life. Being impeccable with your word is not using the word against yourself. If I see you in the street and I call you stupid, it appears that I'm using the word against you, but really I'm using the word against myself because you're going to hate me for this and your hating me is not good for me. Therefore, if I get angry and with my words send all that emotional poison to you, I'm using the word against myself. If I love myself, I will express that love in my interactions with you. And then I'm being impeccable with the word because that action will produce a like reaction. If I love you, then you will love me. That's not always true. Just because you love somebody, it doesn't mean they will love you. And that's okay. They could be broken and not know how to love you. But that doesn't mean you should stop loving them. You should love them all the more. But not in a doormat way. Not in a lay down welcome on your face and they stomping back and forth way. But in a way where you say, I wish peace in their heart. Every time you see them, look them in their eyes. And you don't have to say it out your mouth. But think these thoughts. I wish you so much peace. I wish you so much joy. I wish you saw the beauty in you that I'm seeing you now. I refuse to see your dark side. I don't interact with darkness. I interact with light. And one or two things will happen. That person will change and become the light, or they're going to disappear. You're going to say, what happened? It's like a magician. They gone. That one of those two things are going to happen. They're going to be out of your life. You're going to wonder, did they ever exist? Because two things cannot exist at the same time. Light and darkness can't be together. Okay? So if you notice that, that's called like dawn. But there's the light. You don't see much darkness. You see more light. So they're not existing completely together. One is transitioning from the other way. So that part, If I insult you, you will insult me. That's probably going to be true when you're in ego state. If I have gratitude for you, you have gratitude for me. If I am selfish with you, you will be selfish with me. If I use the word to put a spell on you, you're going to put a spell on me. The thing about loving somebody, when you love and you love from your heart and your mind, your body, your soul, that love is going to return to you. The thing is, you think it's going to come from A, but it doesn't. It comes from C or D. It doesn't necessarily, it's going to return to you, but maybe not from the person that you're giving it to. You can love somebody, but they don't love you back properly. And you just, with that the person that can love you properly is going to find you. Where we go wrong is, especially women. We want this man to love us so bad that don't love us, don't respect us. That's worse. They don't have no respect for you whatsoever. Do whatever the hell they want to do and have no respect for you. But you love them. And you keep loving them. And keep loving them until you love yourself into a disease and check out of the planet, because you're loving the wrong person and you don't see that that man down the block wants to love you properly. Now, break off that before you go to that. I'm not trying to tell you to be doing no adulterous behaviors, because I'm not going to get me in trouble with God. I don't believe in committing adultery. I believe in letting one thing go and moving to another. You don't have to stay with somebody just because you got married to them. If it's not working, you can say, this is not working. You're not willing to make the changes I need. Bye-bye. God not going to be mad at you. God going to be like, yeah, that's my girl. Oh, yeah, that's my dude. Being impeccable with your word is the correct use of your energy. It means to use your energy in the direction of truth and love for yourself. If you make an agreement with yourself to be impeccable with your word, just with that intention, the truth will manifest through you and clean all the emotional poison that exists within you. But making this agreement is difficult because we have learned to do precisely the opposite. All my life, my family, my friends have always told me, you just say anything out your mouth. And that is not true. I do not ever try to hurt people. But I am a straight shooter and I'm an honest person. That's one of my great attributes. I'm pretty honest. So if you don't ask me something if you don't want the truth. Don't ask me if something looks nice on you if you don't want my opinion of it. Because now what I say is, do you like it? And that's all that matters. When I was young, I would go, that don't look right on you. But that's not my place. However, I like to be impeccable with my word in terms of when I say I'm going to do something, I do everything I can to do it. You won't find me telling you, making you a promise and not doing everything in my power to keep that promise. I can't do that. It doesn't feel right. So for me, making a commitment with someone means keeping that commitment with them because I made it. If I can't do something, I have to tell you in advance or try my best to make some different choices for it. But I'm pretty good at being impeccable with my word. What was that? We have learned to lie as a habit of communication with others and more importantly with ourselves. We are not impeccable with the word. Like you don't want to go somewhere and somebody say, hey, you want to come somewhere? You go, oh, I have plans. I got to go. You know, you like, what? And it's difficult to just say, I'm really not interested in doing that because you don't want to hurt their feelings. But that's a better way of being than lying. And, but we do that. The power of the word is completely misused in hell. We use words to curse, to blame, to find guilt, and to destroy. Of course, we also use it in the right way, but not too often. Mostly we use the word to spread our personal poison, to express anger, jealousy, envy, and hate. The word is pure magic, the most powerful gift we have as humans, and we use it against ourselves. We plan revenge, we create chaos with the word. We use the word to create hate between the different races, different people, and between families and nations. We misuse the word so often, and this misuse is how we create and perpetrate the dream of hell. Misuse of the word is how we pull each other down and keep each other in a state of fear and doubt. Because the word is the magic that humans possess, and misuse of the word is evil magic. Remember, we're not saying black magic because I'm black and I'm magic, and that's a good thing. We're using evil magic without knowing that our word is magic at all. Thank you so very much. We're still going to be in the first agreement. This is a nice thick book to read. I'm excited to read it. I am definitely going to be making changes in the part where he says black magic is bad, because it's not bad, because I'm black magic and I ain't bad. And I'm grateful that you took this time to listen to me. I will be back tomorrow with more of the reading of this amazing book until I finish it. I bought these earrings from Marshall's yesterday, but I am going to change the top part because it falls out. And you know, I make jewelry, so I'm going to use the bottom part and add some of my handmade jewelry to the top. So not only can it stay, but it'll be different. It'll be mine. I love you guys so very much. And again, I really am grateful. I would love it if you like this video, if you would share this video, and you would subscribe to my channel so you can witness the greatness unfolding that is Tracy Lene. Have an amazing Saturday. Bye.